All right, what we got here is the oft seen in the background but never touched upon Jones Magones. This is a 1930-31 Ford Model A. Has been stripped down for track use. Used more at the drags actually. We just kind of banged it together. It's seen its mileage. But we're gonna see if we can get her running today. She's been sitting, we won't say unused, but we'll call it fallow. She's been sitting fallow for most of the year. Hopefully, we'll throw a carburetor on there and see what we can do for a distributor. And get old Jonesy up and running. So, let's get down to business. All right, we got to move down by the garage. Oh, cool. Looks like I got some carburetor bolts right there. Get this crap out of here. What are we going to do for a distributor? I must have something. We got this situation to worry about. This radiator busted off at the bracket too. We'll do what we can about that. But first up, it's all about getting a distributor in it, getting spark, making sure that there's fuel in the monstrous 2.5 gallon tank we have in here. I'll show you that after a little bit. Shouldn't be too tough. Famous last words. All right, let's go find a carburetor. Okay, we've got my favorite, not most people's favorite. What we have here is a Tillotson X. It was a replacement carburetor. I like these. A lot of people do not, but I found them easy to rebuild, easy to adjust, and by golly, it's just what I'm used to. Let's face facts. It doesn't matter what's good a lot of the time. It matters what you're used to. Couldn't find a proper gasket, so I got a really proper gasket. This is one of those great little copper deals. Got some kind of waferage sandwiched in there. Let's see if it'll at least slide on. You guys can't see me too well. Hang on. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, crushed stone was a great idea, Andy. It makes it really easy to do things. Hang on a minute. Well, now let's see if I can do this without knocking it off the stand. I believe these were the bolts for it. Slap that guy on there. Come right through there. I forget whether we had to use nuts on the bottom of this side or not. These carburetors are really prone to losing threads from being cross-threaded, mis-threaded, etc., etc., etc. Feels like this one might be okay. Let me go grab my 1/2 inch. Gotta get my steps in for the day after all. No. The fact of the matter is I just don't prepare well. So the things that I need are never on hand. And I don't have any of those neat little thin line ratcheting wrenches. Because A, we're cheap, and B, we tend to quite often be economically challenged. Hoping you guys will stick around and give me a like and a share and a comment. Try to boost things up a little. I'm getting ready to go on a little bit of a hiatus. I'm sure you guys have noticed I always have these on my hands. Getting ready to go into for carpal tunnel surgery at the end of November. Just the day before Thanksgiving. Won't be stuffing any turkeys. But there again, I don't stir the gravy either, so that's all right. Going to my son's for that shindig. And I believe that this that's on here, who would have thunk it worked? That's not a half inch. Oh, maybe it is. It's close enough to be a 9, somewhere between 9/16 and a half inch. 9/16 might be the right one for it, but this carburetor's missing the GAV unit off it. So what we'll end up doing, we'll look around, see if we can come up with one. But I'm not that concerned. I'll be hand choking until we get it going anyhow. I might as well slide a gas line on there. Speed driver. Really, a Phillips head? I never use Phillips head. Who uses Phillips head? And you know, it doesn't matter whether you're looking for a flathead or a Phillips head. You're only going to have the other one on hand. So, a little bit of flathead can fit into this big old Phillips head. And that'll work for us. Yeah, tell me you guys don't do it this way at home. Alright. Carburetor on. Let's move on to figuring out something for our distributor. All right, we have this guy. I like to say of unknown provenance. I mean, everything is clicking away in there. Shaft is a little loose, should not be able to do that, but see if we can do it anyway. You only got to start, right? Doesn't have to run forever. Balls. Well, that's inconvenient. That is inconvenient. I get the feeling that this one was originally for a much longer unit. There we go. Yep, she's on. Now let's see if we can get our, she's on there. Let's see if we can get our firing order set up right. But we need a pin. Something else we're missing. A pin that goes right here. Surprise, I have a brand new one. Okay, you caught me in a partial lie. The partial lie being, although I do have a brand new one, got one on my vehicle. Yeah, I try to be a good friend, but I'm also very forgetful, so I forget to put these in all the time. And I figure if anyone's engine deserves something brand new, it's mine. Okay, that's where were we? That's right, we were going to check timing once we move these leaves out of the way. Autumn in upstate New York, leaf season. It's a wonderful thing. Hey, how about all you people who want to come up to upstate New York and look around in the Finger Lakes and the Adirondacks and look at the leaves? If you call me, you can just come to my house. I'll let you rake them. I'll let you jump in piles. You know, you can just have at it because I have to rake all this. And that's only half of the yard, so come on up. I'll give you a great deal. I'll let you camp in the side yard. You can rake leaves. You can jump in on them all you want. And you know what? They just keep coming. Anyhow, back to what we were doing. I'm going to slap this wrench down here on this nut. And I'm going to turn it. Once we turn our timing pin around, you guys have seen this on multiple shows pretty much, multiple channels. We're going to turn this timing pin around and slide it in here. And as I crank this around, eventually it's going to drop into a dimple. And that's going to set us up here at top dead center on number 1. We're just assuming that any of those things I just pointed out that you're going to be able to see. I'm actually... shouldn't be too far out. Maybe I will reverse it and find out where we are. I know you're not supposed to do that, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Oh, I gotta find a rotor for it too. Son of a gun. Huh, I'm getting a lot of compression out of this. I have a lot of faith in this engine. I actually built this, was building this one for myself. She's got decent Babbitt, 40 over. Babbitt on the connecting rods is good. She's got a lot of life left in her. But we had a problem with a downdraft carburetor, an imitation Stromberg 94 that we were running on this, and it was just dumping gas. And we weren't aware of it until it was too late, and it had already washed the cylinders. Rather than mess around with it, I already had this one on the stand. Finished putting it together. And called it a good thing. Seems like we should have come up to the #1 firing order, or at least found that dimple. Oh, there she is. Right there. All right. So, next up we have to grab a big screwdriver and a handy New Rex device, which is nothing more than a bent piece of metal. Just like this. Here, let me shift you a little bit. So what we're going to do, going to slap on our adjusting tool. Big old screwdriver in the center. Loosen that bad boy up. We're going to need to get the distributor cap on there. Fully retarded position. Fully developmentally impaired position. And we're going to bring it around. There's a little arrow on here. Just got to line that right up with the edge of the number 4 distributor post. Sorry, doing two things at once. See me walking chew gum. It ain't pretty. Alright, so we are in top dead center position here. We're in top dead here. We have no juice hooked up. We have some kind of carburetor hooked up. What I have to do now is I have to go find a rotor for this thing. I don't want to take one off my car, but if I have to, I have to. I gotta have something in the garage. Lord knows I have everything else. I'll be right back with you. Now, I promised myself I wasn't going to do this, but I pulled parts off of my Model A to use on this one. Don't throw them on the ground now. We have no real idea whether these points are any good. Oh, I also changed the distributor over. This is the distributor that came on this head years ago. You see the base of this one was made for a longer shaft. I have the shaft in the garage that would have clicked over this and it would have dropped all the way down. Made for a 2-section shaft. The first one wasn't. So we'll get this on there. Oh, we don't have an ignition switch for this. Guess we're going back and getting something else off my car. I like an ignition switch with a flexible cable. I don't like to have the coils that hold everything in place because eventually, you know, they end up rubbing somewhere. This is my new little doodabber. I think forget whether I got this from Snyder's or Mike's. Affordable. It screws in. We're going to clip this clip up on the right up onto the coil, and if there's any life left in this distributor at all, we should be able to make some kind of spark. Not too tight. It doesn't have to be wedged in there all the way. It just has to make good contact. Alright, oh, before I forget, I know you guys are, Model A's are screaming at me. Tighten that down, tighten that down. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have a lot of use of my fingers right now. Doing the best I can with what I got, you know what I'm saying? Hang on. Because honestly, I don't want it jumping all over the place either, so let's give it just snug her up. Tighten that guy in there. And we're back over to here. We have juice hooked up. Do we? Do we really? Yeah, can't prove it that way. Hang on. Guess you folks are going to have to wait while I tighten the battery cables down. All right, let's bring you up here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but spark we have. So we'll throw that bad boy back on there. And we'll unplug this for now. Plug everything on the way it's supposed to be. We're just going to assume that all these spark plugs are in decent fettle. Yes, I said fettle, all right. Fallow and fettle, both in one show. Next up, clean everything off of there. And a little bit of fuel. You know, everybody else is lucky. That's the one thing about having a downdraft carburetor. You're lucky. You can just pour fuel into it. Me, I have to fill up a gas tank. Usually spilling it all over the place. And, oh, I said I was going to show you this gas tank setup. The original gas tank just had too much rust and some minor leakage. So what we ended up doing, to save time, we just cut a hole in that bad boy. Got a 2.5 gallon tank, or a 2 gallon, I forget which it is now. A little bit of strapping, some inner tubes to keep the straps from burrowing into the spun aluminum, and ran it straight down through the firewall. Looks like my choke rod has dropped on through now. So we have that hooked up. Let's get the gas in place, or the gas line. Make sure we're not leaking any gas there. Re-angle you. Let me know if the fuel starts dripping out of there, will you? Yeah, you can't tell with one of these. So all we can do with this, well, we know the fuel made it that far. Yeah, a little leaking never hurt nothing, right? Never hurt nothing. Well, not much. Let's snug that a little bit more. All right. We have a good battery. We have fuel. Not sure how good the ignition system is. We'll reach over, give it a little, get that out of the way. Reach over, give it a little manual chokeage. Some gas. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Let's choke her up again. It's pretty cool out here today. Well, she needs some adjustment, but we'll call that a win. The Jones McGones has come back to life. And hopefully you'll be seeing more of it as time goes on, because I'm hoping to get this back out and racing this next season. But for now, we'll clean up our mess. Maybe. We'll get everything tightened down. Maybe we'll throw a tarp over it for the time being. And please, give me a like, give me a subscribe, comment, especially comment. You know, that affects that that logarithm, the analytical thing. And as soon as one person gives me a comment and a like, everybody else picks up. If you like what I'm doing, let me know. If you don't like what I'm doing, you know, keep it to yourself, because I don't care. As always, thanks for stopping. Me and the Mud Hen, we'll see you in the spring.